Hi, welcome to my channel English Audio Stories. Ready for today's English story? Let's go. The photograph that changed everything. Lily climbed the narrow wooden stairs to the attic, holding a small flashlight. The air smelled of dust and old wood. She had come to help her mother clean the house after her grandmother's passing. Lily expected piles of magazines, forgotten clothes, and broken furniture. But she did not expect to find something that would change her family forever. In the corner of the attic, she noticed a cardboard box tied with string. It looked ordinary, yet somehow important. She untied the knot and slowly lifted the lid. Inside were letters, postcards, and neat stacks of photographs. The first pictures showed family trips to the lake, birthdays, and smiling faces. They made her feel warm and safe. Then she found one photo that made her stop. It showed a sunny day in a town square. A man and a woman leaned against a railing, with a small child standing between them. The three looked calm and happy. But Lily's breath caught when she realized the man looked exactly like her father. It was not simply a younger version. It was almost the same man she knew now. She turned the photograph over. On the back, written in strong handwriting, were the words, "For better days still to come." Nothing more. No names, no date, just a promise. Lily's hands trembled slightly. Her parents had never spoken about such a picture. She slipped the photo carefully into an envelope and looked around the attic again. It no longer felt like a storage space. It felt like a place full of secrets. And she knew this was only the beginning. The next morning, Lily sat at the kitchen table with the envelope beside her. She turned it over again and again, as if a hidden message might suddenly appear. Her mother was making tea, and Lily decided to ask carefully. "Mom," she began, "I found something in the attic yesterday. A photograph. Do you know who this woman and child are?" She slid the picture across the table. Her mother froze for a moment, then placed the kettle down a little too quickly. She did not even look at the photograph. "There are many old things up there," she said softly. "Some are better left forgotten." "But he looks like Dad," Lily insisted. Her mother pressed her lips together and avoided her eyes. "Please, Lily. Just put it back." "It's not important." That answer only made Lily more determined. Later that evening, when her father returned from work, she tried again. He laughed briefly when he saw the photo, but his eyes revealed something different. Pain, maybe even fear. "Where did you find this?" he asked. "In Grandma's attic," Lily said. "Who are they?" Her father shook his head. "It's complicated. Ask me another time." And with that, he walked out to the garden, leaving Lily alone with more questions than before. She sat quietly, holding the photo once more. If her parents refused to tell the truth, she would need to search elsewhere. She thought about the local library, about old records and newspapers. Someone must know. The picture was not just an image. It was a door, and she was already stepping through it. 2 days later, Lily visited the town library. It was a quiet building with tall windows and shelves full of heavy books. She carried the photograph in her bag, hidden like a secret. The librarian, an older woman with sharp eyes, greeted her kindly. "I'm looking for information about families in this town," Lily explained. "Maybe old newspapers or records from the last 30 years? The librarian led her to a wooden cabinet filled with yellowed newspapers. Lily sat at a long table and began searching, page after page. Hours passed, but finally her hands stopped. On one page was a picture that made her heart race. It showed the same woman from the photo, standing with the same child. The headline read, "Local Family Celebrates Summer Festival." The man in the picture was not named, but Lily could not ignore the resemblance to her father. She copied the article carefully into her notebook. It mentioned the woman's name, Clara, and her young daughter, Emily. Nothing more. Still, it was a clue. Clara and Emily, two names that her parents had never spoken. Before leaving, Lily asked the librarian if she remembered them. The woman nodded slowly. "Yes, I do. They lived here many years ago. Then, suddenly, they were gone. Some said it was because of an accident. But no one really knew." Lily thanked her and stepped outside into the cool evening air. The photograph was no longer just a mystery. It was a thread leading to a story her family had buried. And she was ready to follow it, wherever it would lead. That night, Lily could not sleep. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking of the names Clara and Emily. Who were they to her father? And why had no one spoken of them? The silence in her family felt heavier than ever. The next morning, she decided to speak with her grandmother's oldest friend, Mrs. Harris, who still lived nearby. The elderly woman welcomed her in, poured tea, and listened patiently as Lily showed her the photograph. Mrs. Harris sighed deeply. "I wondered when someone would find this," she said. "Your father was very young then. Clara was his first love. They planned to marry. Emily was not his child, but he cared for her as if she were." Lily leaned forward, hardly breathing. "What happened to them?" "There was an accident," Mrs. Harris whispered. "A car crash. Clara died instantly. Emily survived for a while but passed away not long after. It broke your father's heart. He never spoke of it again. Your grandparents thought it best to keep the past hidden." Lily sat quietly, the photograph trembling in her hands. The truth was heavier than she had expected, yet it also explained the sadness she sometimes saw in her father's eyes, a sadness he never explained. Walking home, she felt torn. Part of her wanted to confront her father immediately. Another part knew he might not be ready. But one thing was clear. The photograph was not just a secret. It was a wound her family had tried to forget, but wounds do not heal in silence. That evening, Lily sat with her father in the living room. She placed the photograph gently on the table between them. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The clock ticked softly in the background, and finally her father lifted his head. "You know the story now, don't you?" he asked quietly. "Yes," Lily said. "Mrs. Harris told me. About Clara, about Emily, about the accident." Her father closed his eyes and let out a deep breath. "I tried to protect you from this part of my life. I thought silence would make it easier, but silence only makes the memories heavier." Lily reached for his hand. "You don't have to carry it alone anymore. I want to know who you really are. All of you, even the painful parts." His eyes grew wet, but he smiled faintly. "Clara was kind, and Emily was full of life. Losing them nearly destroyed me, but then I met your mother, and she gave me hope again. Still, I always felt guilty for moving on." "You loved them," Lily said softly. "That doesn't make your love for us any less." For the first time, her father spoke openly about those years, sharing memories he had kept hidden for decades. Her mother later joined them, adding her quiet support. The house, once full of silence, was now filled with words, with truth. The photograph had not only uncovered the past, it had changed the present. And as Lily placed it back into its envelope, she knew one thing for certain. Secrets might sleep in the dark, but only truth can bring peace. "Great job. You finished the story," Keep listening, keep learning, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.